what Jack wants to see. What do you expect, Will?
I think there's like some merit to what he's trying to say. Is like you're gonna pick these like tide hunters and just like frontline and stuff like that. But I mean, he's kind of an outstanding case. It's not like you're seeing like just pure beef, like these Abaddons and stuff like that. What it really comes down to is like the ability to protect your towers and the ability to take team fights. I think that's what Dota's almost always come down to. And the ability to take team fights, it kind of goes in line with what he's saying about beef. And as I say that, like they take two pretty tanky heroes, and like Jack's like pretty happy about that. But like, it's less that these heroes are just like beef, and it's more that their ability to like take a fight is incredibly strong right now. Like we saw Omni all throughout yesterday, and that's because this is a hero that shoves out lanes. He's hard to kill. The kill time investment is like disproportionate because like if you go to kill this hero and you're unsuccessful, then it doesn't really matter if you do kill him at the end of the day. Like if you kill him, great. If you don't kill him, whatever. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't change a lot for your team. And so same thing kind of like exists with Brewmaster. Like this hero just like pure team fight. Omni Knight kind of gets countered by that a little bit, I guess. It's just like a counter on counter on counter patch, I think.
We saw Omni Knight was kind of one of the focal points of this tournament, I guess. It's a hero that's been rising since the recent patch, and you see a number of different answers to it. You see like a Razor frequently picked up. We saw an Abaddon yesterday by Complexity. So Omni Knight has been a focal point for like a lot of drafts. It's, again, like for the reasons that you mentioned, and people have different answers to it. It seems it's a big part of the early phase.
Well, it makes it a lot easier to play your lineup too. Like when you're playing a mobile core hero that's like naturally weak, and you have an Omni in your corner, you're gonna feel naturally really good because you always know that a Repel's gonna come in. The Guardian Angel ruins a lot of plans. Like this hero, more than anything, it soaks up a ton of focus. It's also like a pretty good laner, aside from the Razor that I've seen so far against it.
A lot of very strong heroes coming out so far in the first 4 picks.
You know,
we got the Tuskar with the strength gain going
heroes
to a robust 3.0.
Robust. Jack, you're killing me, dude.
Beefy heroes, I love it. I'm trying to think what you were talking about yesterday.
It was something, the caster on a strength body.
Wasn't it a Game of Thrones reference yesterday?
Oh, Helm's Deep?
It was Helm's Deep, yes, it was a Helm's Deep reference.
Yeah, that was the SG game, I think, against where they had like a pretty good early advantage against VG, and then
Tactic.
VG had this like small like half circle to defend, and SG continued to 5-man into them without real team fight, and threw themselves against the ramparts.
I was thinking he's gotten up too early this morning already.
See, some of the things you say, Jack, they're crazy.
Sorry. Well, I have enough status resistance to endure your doubt and criticism.
Wow.
Did you get enough sleep?
10 seconds remaining.
Good. We played Dota the other day, and it was like a really epic game. It was like 70 minutes in, Paul. Like we were down 2 sets.
I've heard it. I think this is the cat game, was it?
Yeah, and the enemy team was even trash talking us. They told us they all chatted, "Welcome to China."
Yeah.
And I got so motivated to win. And I'm like, guys, we're going to win this. I was like, let's go Roshan right now. We just want a huge fight. And Sharon looks over and Jack's literally asleep. We're like moments from winning, and Jack actually fell asleep at his computer. So I trust none of your beef strats, your Helm's Deep strategies. Like, none of this makes sense to me.
What was he playing?
He was playing Chaos Knight. We had to wake him up repeatedly, actually.
Really?
A very beefy hero, I might add.
You're not wrong, Jack.
Meanwhile, back in the Kinguin Mineski world, we got bans on AM and Quap and an
Radiant team pick.
Ooh. Well, that's an interesting ban from Mineski. What do they think? We think they're going to pull out because of that. Oh, they knew right away. Okay.
I know what you're thinking, Jack.
Very beefy. Oh, look at this. Hello.
In defiance of the beef, I'm going to have to go towards Kinguin's direction over here, based on what we see so far.
They haven't given up on the... Okay, instead of beef, can we say team fight? Because that's a lot of team fight on the side of Kinguin. I don't think beef, I think team fight. I think lots of stuns, control, big AoE ultimates.
So what you're saying is beef sandwich?
Yes. I'll split the difference with you, Jack. We'll go in the middle.
The beef does not compromise. So, like a lot of, again, for Kinguin, a lot of in-your-face heroes. Again, team fight that we saw against Newbie. For Mineski, again, they have a pretty strong lineup as well. But the sniper, I think, seen traditionally as kind of a counter to Death Prophet in mid. They still put a lot of priority on protecting their mid, it feels like, and something that some teams have maybe moved a little bit away from. Obviously, like the loss of the extra creep, the importance of the lane gold and other lanes that you don't really necessarily want to sack any lane now. Like that may be a point of adjustment for Mineski that might change as they play more on this patch.
Yeah, I think in general though, like it's always going to be a mid patch. Like never to the degree that it was in the past. Like when you saw that extra creep added in, like the first thing that I thought was this is going to be hell. And I know the idea was like make it more skill based so that you have an extra creep that you have to fight over, and it makes it even more important. But like nowadays, or when it first hit, it was just like pretty much everyone came. It was a tri-lane versus tri-lane to secure that one extra creep. Yeah. But nowadays, I think it's going back a little bit. But you have an ogre on the side, and I think they're Radiant, right?
Ooh. Phoenix out for a while.
That is.
I don't think we've seen a Phoenix at all at this time.
That's really nice against Kinguin's lineup. Like nobody really hits the egg very well. They do have like 2 range heroes, but Wyvern and DP are like very positional based. Plus they have 2 different heals, like 2 different sets. They need. I think you need mobility though on the side of Kinguin. Like there's not a whole lot of catch on the side of Mineski. Like if you have a hero that has any sort of mobility, I think he's going to prosper.
Choose your hero.
Wow.
Well, that fits some of the mobility requirements against someone who can just kind of get through the lines, get to that sniper. There's a lot of tools for protecting him and buffing him as well. But
yeah, you needed a hero that was like mobile, because if you look at Mineski's lineup, like the one thing that they severely lack is catch. Because yes, you have like Tusk, but Tusk is slow. Like he goes into a snowball and like he needs some time to like roll up with his homies. And the downside too of like Omni Knight is like doesn't have any catch whatsoever. Same with Phoenix. Like none of these heroes really carry a stun. They just have slows. I think Lycan's a really sick pick.
So on the the metric we established, I think it's pretty close. It's pretty close in this case. I feel like there's less strength on the side of Kinguin, but they have more frontline. It's really a coin flip here. I'm going to go with Mineski in this game. Okay, so I think they have the beef principle edge.
Okay, so more beef principle for Mineski according to Jack. Will?
If we're going by this, I didn't agree to this, by the way. I don't know how we got hijacked into going by the beef principle. If we're going by the beef principle, then I'd say that it's the other way around. I think Kinguin, it's going to be hard for them to lock down this Lycan. I feel like he's going to have a very free game. I think this Death Prophet also is going to prosper. I'm going to go Kinguin game 1.
Okay, all right. Split decision on the beef principles here on the analyst desk, not the beef desk, although it might as well be that already. No beef over at the commentary desk, that's for sure, because we've got 2 stars to bring you the opening game of the day. We haven't quite decided on the connection yet. Is it Toby Black? Is it Blackie 1? We're not sure, but nevertheless, it's Toby 1 and Black.
We'll give him like a furlough for that one. That was the first transition of the day for Red Eye. Things are obviously a little bit rough.
Let's give him a pass.
A pass? Okay.
A pass.
Yeah. A get out of hosting free card for Red Eye. Now, I'm Toby 1. I'm here with Black. We're going to have ourselves a fantastic time and a great way to start off the day of Dota 2 when Mineski wants to give us some unusual and fun lanes. Obviously, the panel was leading a little bit more towards Kinguin's more standard, hard to lock down and just very sustainable draft. What is Mineski thinking? You've played with a couple of these boys before. Ice, your brother from potentially the same mother. What do you think they're thinking of right now? Especially understanding too that Mushi is the one who drafted this. He was in the captain seat for this draft.
I'm not sure why they actually changed drafters, because Jabs was always drafting before, and I think only for this tournament Mushi actually took over. So I'm not entirely sure what the story is behind that, but Mineski in general had like a very big history of running these safe lane strength heroes as carry. They had like Slaughter, and now the Omni Knight as well. What he's probably going to do is going to go for the Radiance kind of build, so he can become this like tanky frontline that deals a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it works out. But the lane obviously is super strong with the Degen aura.
It makes sense as long as Sniper then has damage, right? Because you can get your team fight controller, which can come in from Mushi, but unless that Sniper is going to do work, then you got nothing. But can they keep the Sniper safe? Can Mineski keep them safe and at still a distance he can do damage?
Well, that's what I picked these 4 heroes for, because all 4 of them can kind of protect the Sniper. And actually Omni level 15 gets a talent that gives him 90 damage. So he's gonna hit very hard.
Ice, a thief in the night.
Yeah,
he's not on the the Afu level, but he did steal a bounty rune critical attack.
Well, he got 2 bounty runes. It's pretty good for a Phoenix. He already has his magic wand. Again, well, he can't really lane against that lane at all. So he's probably just gonna get bullied out.
He's got jabs with him, so So the way they're laning this is now with Mineski, they're leaving the top lane for Mushi to go solo. So we've seen this a lot where you can talk about the 3 positions who take what is referred to commonly as the safe lane, but let's just call it top lane for now. So Mushi goes one-on-one with the Brewmaster. Mid lane turns into the dual lane, where Ninja Boogie becomes the meat shield with the Ogre, working together with the Sniper against the Death Prophet, difficult to kill. And then the off lane from Mineski, they got the extra numbers. In fact, maybe they don't. That rolling ball forward from Castle, going after Jabs. Jabs is down here with Ice Ice Ice, going up against the defensive Trine lane. So they're keeping both the Wyvern as well as the Earth Spirit on this bottom lane by adding that pressure, by making Ice 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 target #1, and they're going at him again. Icarus Dive's coming off cooldown in just a second. The Shards actually locking in the Winter Wyvern. There's no extra damage for Ice Ice Ice. It's not worth the dive unless he had spirits to throw out.
I'm a bit worried for Mineski because they don't really have a tempo hero at all. The only thing they have is very strong lanes, but they don't really have like an initiator, they don't really have a blink hero at all. The only stun they have is Ogre, as well as
the kick. It's nice. Icarus dive away.
Oh, that was close, man.
Able to jump up just in time, and Castle, he's taking too much damage from the tower. Mineski on the off lane against the defensive tri-lane actually spill first blood.
That is the weakness of a Lycan. Lycan in the lane is very, like, he can sustain a lot, but you can't really be aggressive with him, right? Like, you walk up and you hit people for like, what, 50 damage, and then what do you do?
Yeah.
It's like,
oh, middle lane, rolling boulder into the kick. This is where Castle can come in. They only just moved off for the 2-minute rune Ninja Boogie, so he wasn't there to help out, be that body blocker for the Sniper. And this is a great example for Kinguin for how they can close the distance on that Sniper. Small opportunity and then capitalize.
it was a very good timing because the Ogre just went for the rune and the Sniper got a little bit careless. Like, usually when a support dies like that, he's always going to try to TP to a lane and find an opportunity to kill.
Rolling boulder, slowing down the Wyvern. He has to go onto the Arctic Burn, dragging the creep wave up as well. And, okay, he's actually taking a little bit too much damage from the neutrals. Down to 9 HP. He will hit the ground crawling.
At this point, he should just deny himself, honestly. Like, there's no reason to walk back to the base right now.
Maybe he's trying to save up for a specific item. Doesn't want to lose any...
Yeah, he probably wants to have boots, but, like, this is going to cost so much time now.
Yeah. Crawling back to base. Obviously, you do have the mechanic changed a while ago. Again, Castle going for this attack. Ninja Boogie's going to be able to TP in now, but the Spirit Cyber's making it difficult for Moon to get the distance, but not difficult, not impossible. Back to the tier 1 tower, begins his salve. Here goes another shrapnel charge down. Castle has the rolling boulder away. They don't have the damage to kill him off. But both supports from Kinguin barely living in these attacks.
That was a miss of the Sniper, otherwise the Earth would actually have died. And the DP also had a miss on Sniper, actually 2, I think. So they both would have died, actually, if they... Well, RNG's on both their sides, I guess.
Shards blocking an exotic deer. They got the slows, these sprites from Ice 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 doing the burn to the Lycan. He's still got a lot of consumables, 7 Tango charges plus the salve, so this Lycan can survive. I have no problem with that at all.
Go mid lane again.
Yeah, but
he managed to get a solo kill on this guy.
Yes, that's a rolling boulder so deep in. Go for this, goes for the kick onto the Sniper. But both Nisha as well as Kako were focusing on 2 different targets.
Just speaking about the lanes though, Phoenix usually is a hard counter in lane to the Lycan trope until he gets level 6. Simply because you can't touch the Phoenix. Most melee heroes have that problem, but especially the Lycan. He has no way to even gap close. The only thing he can do is sustain the lane and try to get farm.
Do they actually have great ways of even removing the egg later on? Like,
only BKB Lycan.
Only BKB Lycan.
It's pretty much the only thing, right? DP doesn't do anything. Panda, like the Brewmaster split doesn't even damage the egg at all. And Wyvern and Earth Spirit are kind of like not really there to hit it.
Jabs, if he can get the shards off and lock somebody in, he'll be very happy about it, but not going to happen. For now, Nisha with that double damage room was looking to do as much pressure to the mid as possible. This top lane is just...
It's very hard for the Panda.
It's hammer and stick is what it is.
Yeah. I'm surprised Omni didn't get a Soul Ring actually. It's like a very essential item for him, especially in a lane like this. He would be able to dominate him very easily.
Would you normally get like both Soul Ring as well as Arcane? Because I'm wondering if he's looking to keep the sustain going once Mineski's ready to 5-man ball.
I think if you're a carry Omni like this, you want to go into face boots. Because I really think the carry Omni build is patched. You want to get face boots and then Radiance afterwards.
Rolling boulders in very deep, pulls his rotation out from the Wyvern. Looks like Mineski are really not that interested in this, and they're going to be very happy. Actually, that Sentry, yeah, the Sentry is in range. Getting rid of the vision of Kinguin in the mid, rolling boulder forward, this time from Kako. losing that high ground vision, they do not get the initiation onto Mineski.
And I just want to make sure that the supports are occupied, because as I said, the Lycan can't really 1v1 the Phoenix. Phoenix will have a very, very good time there. You can see he has a lot of net worth. Actually 400 more than the Lycan already. And as long as the Radiant supports are occupied with mid lane, he will just continue to dominate that lane.
Mushi is really starting to get the upper hand. Bottom lane, rolling boulder forward. Icarus dive is available, but he's happy to stand because Jab just rotated over, so they keep the sprites going, slowing down the attacks of Karkor, and they're actually focusing primarily on that ES, just letting Exotic Deer sit there and have little to no effect. But where is that dive out? It's already been used, so Ice will fall. And this is what Kinguin needed to finally punish that offlane of Mineski, who has been a pain in the ass.
I'm a bit surprised they got caught there, because they actually have the ward bottom, which spotted the rotation of the Winter as well. It's not the worst, because they got 2 urn charges, so now they can put on a lot of pressure on the Lycan again. Level 5 Phoenix. Once he's level 6, this Lycan is going to be very sad. Might even get a soul plummet.
It does show, though, like, just how little Mineski give a crap about the Lycan in this early phase. Like, they fought around him. And
they just ignored him completely.
Yeah. Once Howl wears off, like, what does Exotic Deer really even bring to an engagement at the moment?
Yeah. Well, he only can right-click. Until you're level 6, you're not really a big threat on Lycan at all. Unless you steal the Wolves, which he didn't.
No Partos.
Only with Bloodlust is so damn strong. You see that? He's just whacking him down. So he went for the face boots.
Impossible to run away now with the face boots up and running. A lot of physical damage. And he's got the 3 points degen aura and the 3 points purify.
That's a lot. Like, the degen aura is a lot, 3 points to spend in there. 0 levels of repel. He might actually be able to get ganked by the DP. They can pressure the top tower if that's the rotation you're looking for. Because you shouldn't just let an Omni do this. Like, now he's just cutting creep waves top, and nobody can really contest this lane. They need to smoke up and actually kill him.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Oh, Mushi. Now, enjoying the fact that Kinguin have smoked off that top lane, jumping behind the tower. He knows he's very sustainable. And Brewmaster, well, okay. Here comes your stuns, where the support is coming more and more for Kinguin. Karkor in through the rear, and no purification. Had it on cooldown. So Brewmaster split seals the death of Mushi, who is being very aggressive, but even Exotic Deer rotating for this kill.
And the biggest problem here is he doesn't have 1 level of repel. Usually you go 4, 1, 2, because if you have the 1 level in repel, you actually don't care. He splits the repel UTP out, and it's a completely wasted rotation. They can't even pressure the top tower at all. But now he's just gonna TP top, and the Lycan will have to go to the jungle, I guess. He can't really face off against the Omni at all.
So they're gonna put a Brewmaster against Ice. This doesn't seem to be a happy day for a Brewmaster.
Nah, it's really not. Especially when the Phoenix is level 7. Fire Spirits do so much damage.
Oh, Exotic Deer can't stand against Mushi. Like, yeah, he's got a decent amount of damage behind him because he's got the extra creep wave to help him out. But bottom lane, they're going on past it. Said it wasn't going to be a happy day. Tuskar moves so quickly. The second they realized the rotation was coming. And Mineski get yet another kill on their offlane.
I mean, the Phoenix Fire Spirits are very, very strong if you're good at using them. You can get like a total of 1,000 magic damage if you hit all 4 of them for the full duration. What we haven't really focused on is mid lane, by the way. The sniper is pretty poor. Well, actually, he kind of caught up. He was like 1,000 net worth behind the DP. Now he's only 500 behind.
Radiant's bottom
Quite well for him.
is under attack.
He's a little bit like. Then again, do you really see the space creation?
Yeah, they're making a lot of space.
The DJ Nora is on him. Okay, here's your TP. No stuns available for Mushi.
But they have a big problem. They haven't used the DP ult yet.
Oh, Karkor! Tried to rolling boulder out. Ice. He went just a little bit further through that dive, so he put himself between Karkor and escaping. Exotic Deer triggers the ulti, looking for the kill over on Mushi. Ninja Boogie to the neighborhood. Needs to let off a stun or something. Actually, well, for now, it's just Ignite. Exotic Deer will run away. Tuskar also doing his rotation. Shards fly forward. They need that reveal. Snowball down, and, well, that's a long way to go. Well, actually not that far. He went to the tier 1 town, but Snowball doesn't reach it.
Like, Radiant is having, Radiant is having this problem now that they can't really go to lanes, because bot lane the Phoenix will pretty much just beat everyone 1v1 and so will the Omni at top. So they will have to use this DP and actually use the DP ult rotation, because they haven't even thought about it yet.
Well, right now the DP is just farming up in the jungle. Like, you're not even inside the mid lane with the Death Prophet. While a pressure's being applied to your top, the Death Prophet is a non-factor. She's walking back to base currently.
He has to make use of his ult right now. He has it off cooldown for 3 minutes already. He needs to use it right now. Maybe smoke up with the Earth Spirit. Do something about it. They're actually losing top tower for free.
Yeah. Attempted denies from Kinguin. Not going to happen, however.
He's just DPing back to mid lane. Well, the tower's getting pressured, he has to. But they really need to start using this. It's the strongest hero right now, and it's the only one that can really kill them. Especially this Omni Knight.
It's just something to fight for up on the top. Like, once you've lost that tier 1 tower, there's no reason why Mineski has to come more aggressively forward.
Yeah, it's way too late to go top now.
And they don't have the vision advantage either. Like, Mineski have that observer ward just near the old shrine area, near the bounty area.
Big problem is also the Panda is pretty poor. He needs another 1.7k for his Blink Dagger, and he's like the only tempo hero they really have. Other than him, they don't really have an initiation at all, unless DP actually sieges the tower and they choose to go on the DP. There's not really a reliable fight, like way to start the fight at all. Jabs is getting quite rich.
They're actually giving both Jabs and ES space up on the top lane. So for now, both initiators willingly just accept. Damn, he knows how strong he is as well. When that purification comes in, the Icarus dive forward, they force the Brewmaster to split out. Mushi, where is that Repel? He's got 1 point in it this time around.
Yep.
So Repels runs away. They did burn a drum charge for this. The Storm Bruling gonna send Ice up into the air, but he's a winged creature. Knows how to hit the ground with style. And knows how to survive. They're already going back in for Partos. He moves so far forward with that Earth Bruling, and now he's in trouble low on life. Mushi won Purification. He puts onto Ice to keep him alive, and they just slap down Partos.
They actually forced out the Brew Split and then killed the Brewmaster after.
Well, Brewmaster tried to make it work, right? Like, he did the Brew Split. It's like, I need to find a kill to make this worth it.
Yeah, but he has to, like, Radiant is not really doing anything. Like, as I said, the DP ulti has still not been used for like 5 minutes now and has been off cooldown. If he was in a bottom fight, for example, they would have killed both of them.
They're forcing top now. This is where you'll see the DP ulti triggered for the first time.
They will have to do it.
Yeah, and there it is. Initial, it's a trigger. They're going to catapult behind him, but at the same time, a little bit of a battle around the top rune area. Moon needs some distance here. He's got a couple of one charges up his sleeve. Ninja Boogie rotating over while top lane. They're initiating in. Karkor assassinated inside the pit. Won't go down. Still alive. That Magnetize doing serious work as a sniper for an ES. Ice is delaying the top fight. Now we go back up to that one. As Exotic Deer taking too much damage from the tower. Up in the trees. The tower is enough with the burn. Jabs will fall. Nisha finally gets the fight he wants underneath Exorcism. And Ninja Boogie will be the extra prize for this fight. They're all rotating over. They'll get a quick start off. A Crypt Swarm something? No. They let Partos finish the kill. Mineski, for all that early laning presence they had, now with a fight split between the mid and the top lane, Kinguin comes out on top.
Yeah, I'm really happy they finally forced this fight because Mineski's teamfight is really not that good when you compare to the Radiant side. And I mean, you just saw it here. The DP crushed through them very, very handily. But the Omni is actually going for Euls. So they're gonna leave all the physical damage to the sniper. It's gonna be a problem, I think, later on, because the Light King can pretty much just run down the sniper.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
See how that turns out. Gotta keep an eye on the Tusk as well. He's going for mech. I actually thought he was going for a Blink Dagger because, as I said, they don't really have a tempo hero, and the only one that can really do it is the Tusk. So him going for the mech.
If he's going for mech, like
they just want to protect the sniper.
Let's have a quick look at this split fight once more. So this is we have the battle going down the top river, which is with Moon, but let's have a look at the smaller window, which is where you had the ultimate out from Ice, a heavy amount of stun.
But they just couldn't kill off the DP.
Yeah.
They just couldn't. The Siphon Life was too strong.
They just seem to be very split with their attack this time around. Curse creates a little bit of space. Mushi does very little physical damage, so Jabs doesn't care. They come in, they let off the shards, but now they'll start to care. Repel is up for Mushi. He's got some extra life, couple of one charges, but Sniper set up into a scary, can't get his damage off. Not while that Storm Ruling does its work. Mushi, the stun from the Earth Panda. It holds him in position, but not enough to get the kill. You can't even attack with Ice, turning on the Sun Ray, but Nisha very exposed. It's that green skin, it just burns in the hot summer sun. Tries to make a break for the darkness, but that won't work for him. He will go down as the only hero to die in this entire engagement.
Yeah, that's the problem. They don't have DP ult. We spoke about it earlier. They don't really have any damage to contest these fights, and they miss like a little bit of damage. If they have the DP ult there, they will win that fight very easily. But I mean, they didn't have it, and they didn't have the Lycan there either. He was split pushing mid lane. There was like a slight overcommitment from P.
Yeah. Kinguin was kind of forced into it, like with the initiation. Like,
Yeah, he got caught off there, and they kind of had to go there.
Yeah, they made the best of the bad situation. Apply pressure in towards mid, get Mineski's attention turn somewhere else, and then just try and get him out of there. But doesn't work out. But Mineski, they're going to try and force an issue. They smoke
up
just east of the Radiant Observer Ward, so not visible. Speaking of that, Sniper, Trouble, Sunray from Ice. The curse is out, but the Sunray, it gives a lot of life back to Moon with the Purification. Exotic Deer takes so much damage, the Snowball won't connect. Assassination will. Needed both to find the kill on the Lycan. But he's very quick to run away. Nisha now triggering off that exorcism. Jabs wants to get himself out of this one. He knows he's not, however. He is the sacrificial lamb. But losing a Tusker, you smoke ganked as well. But if they can hold their tier 1 tower, Mineski will be happy.
It's most likely gonna fall. Can't really do anything to save it. Exorcism is still up.
Yeah, it's actually quite low already.
Yep. Down it goes. By the way, something we didn't really touch on before is the Brewmaster split. Once the Omni uses Guardian Angel, he can actually purge off the bonus armor of the Sniper.
Oh.
And the Lycan can just run him down afterwards, because that's the only save they really have for him. Because the Tusk is opting to go for the mech instead of the Blink, so getting him into a Snowball will be really, really hard.
But it does seem like you just have that run-it-you style lineup.
Yeah, they do.
They won't be able to work against. Like Exotic Deer without that ultimate, it's just so damn slow.
DP actually went for a Blink Dagger to be able to initiate on the Sniper, because he also realized he's like the only source of damage he has.
Well, jump forward, Bruma split's already out. A 3-way split here from Mineski. They want to be able to escape, but at the same time, Ninja Boogie, there's not a lot he can do to help out Mushi, and because he came over, he'll probably lose his own life, send him up towards the edge. Jabs throws out the Shard's Curse, keeping on the back lines. Ice comes all the way back into attack. A defensive Snowball, out for a moment, flipping the Winter Wyvern over, but Moon, he's caught in the river. Exotic Deer and Karkor working beautifully, but Moon, he'll get the kill on Karkor. The Wolf trying to get in front of him to get the body block off, and maybe they have enough damage. Attack up the hill with the Necro unit. The stun from Ice is still not enough. Partos can blink forward, gets the Drunken Brawler attack in. So Sniper will fall as Kinguin once again not allowing Mineski to have this 5-on-5 fight. Even though it was like only halfway up the river to the bottom rune area split, it was still a split engagement.
The issue is they can't really protect the Sniper. Once they blink on him with like 2 heroes, what are they gonna do about it? The only one that can do something about it is the Omni Knight, but he died first in that engagement because DP jumped on him. And if they can't keep the Sniper safe, they simply don't have the damage to deal with him.
You're using Ice's ulti to try and do it, so let's have a quick look at this fight again. So Moon initiated on, he gets repelled, and then Mushi becomes the priority target.
Yeah. They will always go Mushi if they can.
Jabs thought he could actually get him out of here. The Shard's just a little too deep.
The Winter Curse was really good. It kept the Phoenix out fight for the longest time. And then on the Sniper with 2 heroes. He actually manages to turn around and kill one of them, but ultimately he still dies for a support, so it's not worth it at all for him.
Yeah. Thought that Necro unit was going to finish the job, and then when Ice with his Clap ultimate, but no, not enough space created. Mineski, they do still have a 2k advantage for the moment.
Yeah. Sniper would have actually lived if the Phoenix damaged him with the ultimate, but the stun AoE is bigger than the actual damage AoE, so he just got stunned and then blinked after him. The action there. The Brewmaster is going back for Midas, so he can keep scaling late in the game. Necro 3 up on Lycan and 600 gold.
That's gonna make life a lot more easier for him.
I'm wondering when Raiden is gonna smoke for Roche, because Exorcism and Lycan, their Roche is pretty much free and very fast. Well, they smoked up right now.
Do you think it is going to be fast enough? Like, you need to use that. You need to commit Exorcism to do it.
Yeah, exactly. You use 1 Exorcism and then you wait for the cooldown and then you start pressuring towers.
Yeah, but when you do that, like, if you get the timing wrong, the Exorcism is going to be the end of the fight, and they need that physical damage. Yeah. Ice is becoming priority target number 1. There's your silence. Perfect reach from Nisha. Blinks himself forward, jumps onto the Phoenix. Will they hold him long enough? Icarus dive in and straight back into the waiting arms of Kinguin, so they'll get the kill. They burn a lot of ultimates. Brewmaster split. The only thing they haven't used right now is Exorcism. And these Brewlings going in very deep. Defensive dire observe ward up on the hillside, so Mineski will have good information in this fight. But again, another dival silence. Nisha, this blink dagger has done so much to the front lines, and this is what they wanted. The exits of heavy damage into Mineski. Then on the run out of here, Mushi wants to help him out. He starts body blocking up Nisha. You slow him down, you let the DGen aura do its work, and Mushi trying to tank through everything that's there, but he gets silenced. He can't purify. He has his Yule Scepter available, but not up into the air. Ends up falling. A triple kill for Partos, a tier 2 tower to follow. Did my eyes deceive me? Because Omni-Knight actually have that Yule Scepter.
He went Yule Scepter.
And he had it off cooldown.
Yeah, he did not use it. Maybe he didn't expect the burst damage to happen. I don't know.
But to dispel the silence, come back down for purification.
Yeah, he should have done. Yeah, I mean,
it was just a small thing, but it's
maybe the courier just delivered it and he kind of like forgot in the heat of the moment that he had it or something. I'm not entirely sure what happened there.
First game of the day, still waking up, still question marks out there, but Kinguin won't question what they got out of it. They pushed that bottom lane beautifully. They've taken all the towers on the bot lane now. They take the fight, and that 2k advantage, which was going the way of Mineski, is now going the way of Kinguin. A very vertical shift.
But that really shows you the weakness of the Mineski lineup. They cannot stop them and running at them. They just run at them, and what can they do? Snowball, shards. It's not really good tools to stop them at all. And they can't initiate themselves because they do not have that blink on the tusk. So they're pretty much just waiting for Kinguin to go on them, and when they go on them, they can't actually stop them. So that's the problem they'll have to figure out somehow.
Vision win needs to happen. You need to have, like, what are we actually looking for the build over on Sniper? Like,
Sniper is going Maelstrom. He has Dragonlance Maelstrom right now. He's pretty poor.
If he features the Hurricane Pike, then at least positioning-wise for Mineski, these fights can become a lot more interesting.
It's just the problem is the Lycan as well as the DP with Blink Dagger, they are always gonna be on him. And then I have the Panda as well as the Winter Wyvern to lock down the Omni-Knight. And if Omni can't get to the Sniper, he'll actually just get run down and die really, really quickly to an Exorcism or Lycan. They actually had a DD on Lycan. They were thinking about going Roshan for a second, but...
yeah, without Exorcism.
Or they do want to go Roshan still.
Without Exorcism?
This is 10 seconds on cooldown.
It's ballsy when the DD is already 2/3 of the way through its duration. And Shards from Tuskar scan out what's moving on, and Mineski are coming in force.
They're going to commit Exorcism here.
Yeah, they have to. It's just come off cooldown, so they have it available. Roshan down low. Here comes Ice Ice Ice. Firebird forcing him out of the pit, and Roshan to 50%. They're losing their high ground vision. That dire sentry ward scouting out the Radiant Orbs.
As well as the pesky Sigil, just scouting them out. That thing is so annoying. You can't kill it off with their heroes either.
Necro units cleaning up the rest of the dire vision that they have.
Yeah.
Moon easily is going to get the extra 200 gold.
They're probably just going to wait for the next Necro and then finish off the Roche. Because they just cleared like 2 wards off the dire side.
It's going to be so tempting to jump in there, Mineski themselves.
900 gold to 4-step on Sniper. Finishing up the Hurricane Pike, very important for him. But his damage output really is not all that high.
Oh, this is going to help. Like, they're not actually wasting much time. They just managed to get themselves, like, it was already a double stack, now it's a triple stack for Moon to farm.
Yeah,
so they can wait, they can get the money in for that Hurricane Pike. And then it's going to be, again, as we said, like, positioning has to be key for Mineski.
But they have to deal with the lanes right now. Bot lane as well as top lane are pushing in. And during that time, Radiant actually has a very, very big window to just get the Roshan kill if they wanted to do that. They were just waiting on the left side of the map, actually.
They said the hero's over. Like, they can do it and then still TP back up to the shrine. Thanks to the fact the D wards are out from Mineski.
I think they're just going to commit to it now with the Exorcism.
Yeah, here they come. But Sigil,
to do with bottom lane.
Sigil's inside the pit. They're coming over. How quickly can they do this? The Wolf scouting the high ground where Mineski is fighting at the moment. They do not have vision inside the pit. Shards are out, and now Nisha. He has the Aegis Immortal. Curse is creating space, and actually forces the fight. It was onto Mushi. He'll actually repel himself to start with, and with the Nova up on the hillside, Kinguin do not want to go up there, but these Brewlings being picked off little by little. Jazz can't control them much more. Maybe if they can isolate this Earth Brewling, it doesn't have a lot of life. They turn the Storm Brewling around, create a little bit of space, sending Mushi up into the air, but Ice. It's like he really wants to get this, but he won't get anything.
But you see that issue, right? DP has no Exorcism, but they can't actually chase anyone down. They have no way to actually get to them.
Yep. Are they going to try to fight this?
They will have to try to push now, because DP ult is down, Brewmaster Split is down. They need to get a tier 2 tower out of this at least.
Yeah. Well, Moon's pumping away at it. You've got Mushi on the front lines to be that tank. There is a little bit of creep clear when you get the Trip Swarm and the Splinter Blast.
Yeah.
Fresh items now also available. Full Solar Crest completed in for the Death Prophet. Shiva's Guard, which Ice has been working on for a while now, has now been completed.
Yeah, I really like the split of Radiant too. Lycan is farming bottom and Panda is farming top because they both know they can't do anything at the tower defense, so they will just start pressuring the lanes in again.
Yep.
Omni Knight will have to respond, he's TPing top right now. And they couldn't even...
Mushi can use that Yule Scepter aggressively, but Partos understands the second it does, there's no extra disable. In the mid lane, Jabs getting picked off, unable to fall back with the rest of his team. That mech not giving him the maneuverability that a Blink Dagger would.
It's very, very hard for Dire to just TP out. What do you do? Like, nothing.
Oh, Ice.
Wow, perfect
That
silence.
just happened. Karko got the silence, forced Ice to come back into the engagement. Magnetize was burnt.
Like
They didn't get a follow-up into this. Ice will make a break for the tree lines, and he'll need to Sunray himself up and over and away. Assassination is there. Ice does manage to just glitch it on the side until finally the silence and the timing of it will wear off. He'll hit the ground.
But they can't really chase for that. The Brewmaster ult is off cooldown, DP ult off cooldown in 5 seconds.
Rishi. Actually aggressive Yule Scepter once more. He's repelled up. Partos starts to split. They're trying to fight underneath this tier 2 tower. Ice TP's the front line. Sigil makes it difficult to engage, but then again with the curse, actually only locks down one, and they can't really fight him. GA from Mushi being burnt out. They need to keep Moon alive. You're forced up the hill. Anisha just going in so deep, fighting next to the tier 3 tower, trying to close the distance on their sniper, unable to do so. And thanks to Ice, he'll come back out of that supernova, ready to fight once more. Nisha still doing it almost solo under the tier 3 tower, showing just how tanky he is, going in deeper, but they cannot close the distance. They cannot get closer towards the sniper, and when the shrapnel charges down, and Mushi being their frontline tank that has been looking for so long, it is an overextension from Kinguin. Shard trapped in, they're gonna lose too many. Nisha, he just wants out of here. He's got the Aegis the Immortal, so at least he'll have a second life, but he's got no friends. Surrounded by nothing but enemies. The snowball, even earlier from Jabs, hits him. Yule's up into the air. Nisha gets flipped, and that is going to be Kinguin. Losing the Aegis, they don't bring down the tier 3 tower. In fact, the tier 2 tower is even still standing. They managed to do a heavy amount of damage to the bottom lane, but Mineski finally hold properly.
Well, the DP ran into the base trying to make space for the Lycan who was split pushing bot lane, and they got the Rex down to half health, but they threw away a lot of their advantage right there. Because the only way, we spoke about it before, Mineski can actually fight them is if they run in like that, and they basically just gave him a free fight like that. It kind of felt like a bit too rushed, like you just get the tier 3 bottom, and then you just go out, you take the shrines, you take it slow from there, because there's no need for yourself to rush yourselves at all. Like your late game is not worse than Dire's, and yeah, well, they gave up a lot of their advantage right there.
Kako can't play around with Ice, rolling boulders forward. Sunray is the safe way to get out there until he gets silenced and dropped down. But Partos caught out. The Radiance is just flowing in on the Courier, but Mushi won't really care. Now he will. Broodmaster split will happen. The fight still split into multiple parts. The Magnetize doesn't get the kill under Ice. They want to chase up higher, but now he's in range of the Shrine. Ice will survive.
He also used all his rocks for that, so he'll have to wait for the recharge time for like at least a minute or two.
Not exactly what he wanted when that Radiance has just arrived from the Brewmaster, but I suppose Brew burns his ultimate as well.
Yep. So they will have to wait for that ult as well. They have Exorcism up though. My question is, do they just want to try and force the bottom Rex right now because there's no towers and the teamfight is still superior to the Dire's?
No, it makes sense once they get rid of the shrines. Like the Wolves were attacking the shrine inside the Dire jungle. They still need to push through bottom so they don't get wrapped around too easily.
Right, yeah. They just need to wait for the Brew ult, which is up in 50, so they could slowly push out the lane and start sieging high ground. There's not too much they can do about it, because you saw it. They were hitting the DP for like a good 20-30 seconds, and he actually just didn't die.
Yep.
So he's just gonna stand here with Exorcism. Or Radiance Omni Knight finished now. They actually have a lot more damage now. You see that Omni Talon? Plus 90 damage. Now the Radiance, he's actually hitting for 300 per hit. It's not bad.
That's a lot of physical damage.
Yeah. That's why I didn't agree with the Yules. Usually with this build, you go either BKB or Saint Yasha, because you actually want to hit people. And the Yules it doesn't really help you do that, right?
It seems to make sense though when like Blitz was flagging on the panel saying like they don't have enough lockdown, they don't have enough control. So you need to bring in some of those items, and it's not like you got a Scythe of Ice on Ice. In fact, you ended up getting a Shiva's Guard instead. So
Radiant's top
But
tower.
now he's going for the BKB.
Yeah, like it's
I guess he's kind of going for like a hybrid. Mushi is like a damage utility kind.
His damage control, like he can at least he's gonna make sure he can't get silenced.
But
so you can at least dispel that by using up and
they
then
just
coming
smoked up
down.
at 5. So they want to fight.
Yep.
Even though Kinguin is also smoked up. Did they see the smoke? Oh, they had the ward there. They saw the
Yeah,
smoke.
they did.
Yeah. All right, so they're
And you
just gonna
see
go
him
back there.
retreat.
Dire's top shrine
But
is
at the same time, well, they're hoping for Roshan. Like that's a while off, boys.
The big issue I have with the Omni build is Radiance means you want to be a frontliner, run in and hit them. But
Yeah.
Yules means you can't really do that. Like you do that and then what? It doesn't help you tank. It doesn't help you hit them. So that's why I'm not the biggest fan of that hybrid build. Kind of need to go like one way with it.
bottom shrine is under attack.
Well, Moon's adding pressure towards the mid. Mineski rallying behind him. They put down the sentry was too, so no dire wolves
Under attack.
scouting out.
Radiant's
As they do
top
actually run
shrines
forward, but
fortified.
quickly picked off. Jump in, Nisha just goes straight ham. Ninjabugi will get the follow-up stun and the kick. Maybe they have enough control for this, but Exotic Deer, BK Beast, runs to the front line, and it's Moon in trouble, starting his TP. He wants to get out, will be able to actually get out of this one. Ice. Again, this Sunray interrupted. Cursed up for just a second. They still want to retreat out of this fight, but it won't happen. Karko all over him. And Mineski, they knew this was not the fight. The second Nisha got that initiation, Moon started his TP, the damage was gone, and the fight is Kinguin's.
Yeah. On top of that, they also lost the gem on the Omni Knight, so they kind of handed the free gem over to the Kinguin side.
Oh boy.
And now they don't really have the tools to defend the high ground.
Their upside is the push power with Necrobook's burnt as well as Ecticism. The push power is going to be rather
Have
low.
trouble, not
But
Drag Lance.
Moon, he's got to get out of here. Doesn't have a Hurricane. High! 4 heroes down without buyback. Okay, screw having to have the big abilities. They could just push.
They're just gonna wipe it down, yeah.
Yep. You've still got bottom lane exposed. Ice will do what he can to slow it down, but Nisha really on the money. Avoided the attack, was able to blink forward, gets the silence. And Ice will try and burn them out.
Interrupted again.
Yeah, it seems so difficult. It's like
He
watching
needs
a
that
Baytron
BKB.
Fiend's grip. It's just, there's too many stuns on the field.
He
Too
needs
much
that
control.
BKB. But Phoenix actually managed to defend the high ground.
Bottom shrine is under attack.
That they did?
They're getting bot shrine now. Top shrine already been destroyed.
You wonder if it would have been worth it for Kinguin to actually just rotate bottom. But let's have a quick look at this fight initiation once again. So Nisha, in very, very quickly.
And keep in mind it was without a BKB. Next fight is gonna have a BKB. If he does it with a BKB, they can't actually do anything about it.
I don't even know how Mineski meant to take that fight. Like, they had a double damage rune on a sniper who was in the back lines, got
they still
heavy
lost.
damage out at the start, and the Lycan just ran straight through the middle of the fight, beelined for Moon, and that was it. Like, the second Moon had that Lycan with the BKB in front of me, he's like, I'm done, boys. Like, this fight's not mine.
That's because the Omni Knight can't actually reach the sniper. Sniper's really far away and Omni is in melee range. So as soon as the Lycan just passes by, like what can the Omni Knight do? He's gonna get disabled too. He's gonna get silenced as well. So he really needs a BKB in order to help the sniper. So we have a BKB up on the DP now. Yeah, Brewmaster also going for BKB. He went for Vlad first to amplify the damage of the Lycan. Roshan is up. They might just commit the next exorcism to that. And then wait for the next cooldown and just finish the Rex.
You may as well. Like, this is what now, our third Roshan, so we're going to bring in the refresher shard.
It's the second Roshan,
The second
actually,
Roshan. So we're not the third yet.
Yeah, Aegis and cheese only.
But refresher shard's going to be fantastic for Kinguin later on,
Right.
especially with
DP,
someone like
man.
DP.
Yeah.
Dire's bottom
Especially with
shrine is
BKB
under
now.
attack.
If you can refresh BKB as well as exorcism, it's gonna be nightmare.
Yeah. And Mineski's already having a hard time holding.
Has fallen.
They will have the advantage of when they fight inside their base that if Lycan wants to run in deep, like we saw Nisha first, like forcing it when they tried to go high ground before. Like he blinked into the tier 3 tower in mid. He just chased the sniper as far as he could, but didn't pass the tier 3 tower line. Next time around, they're a lot stronger Kinguin. They can actually dive in deeper.
Yeah. Lycan also has a Hyperstone now, so it is a possibility for him to actually just turn around and kill the Phoenix Egg. Because before he didn't have that attack speed, but now he has it available to him.
So then you beg the question, what is better? Like, because right now, Ice is like the Nova. He's always doing it on a hillside. He's doing it in a place which is difficult to get to. Do you try and lock down like Ice himself, or do you just say, no, let's screw it, just keep focusing on Moon, take out that damage?
From the way these fights went so far, I actually feel like Ice is doing 50% of the damage, if not more.
Yeah.
Because like his Sunray, his Fire Spirit, he always just hits everything with it.
And that's happening when he's getting interrupted. Ninja Boogie's about to get wrecked. Jump forward, silence, Exorcism burn very quickly. They want to keep this creep wave alive so they can attack in.
It was also right before the Rex. Like if you die at that position, you usually just like lose a side or two.
Space created.
He just wants to heal up the Omni Knight there.
Well, BKB already committed from Ice. He needs to be able to fight this now. Turns on the Sunray, trying to focus on Nisha, and well, there's the other thing that can control it through that immunity. Letting off the Winter's Curse. The Rax is going down quickly. Nisha puts himself in the thick of it. More double silences, more heavy physical damage, and more hopeless engagements with Mineski. They've lost 2 lanes of Rax, but maybe Moon not so hopeless. The damage is high. The Exorcism is gone, and the silence, well, it won't matter. He just let the physical damage do the work. The kick is beautiful from the back lines, but Moon, he needs to do some serious lifting. Maybe Mushi buys back. No, they don't want that. Assassination, not necessary anymore. Exotic Deer will get connected on that, but it was Karka who died in front of the Rax in mid. That's a lot of experience that has to go the way of the sniper at the end of all of that, but still, it's a lane and a half Rax.
Yeah.
Oh. It's a half and a half for lane of Rax, I should say.
Sniper has 2 problems now. First one is he needs a BKB. Second one is he needs damage. So he will have to commit for one of the ways, but...
He's got 4.2k, so decision time is rapidly approaching. So at this point, you just want to like, screw it, Rapier.
Question is whether he's gonna go for the BKB or a damage item like Butterfly instead.
Would you do that? Would you get maybe even MKB?
MKB is also viable because they have the Solar Crest.
We watch that initiation once again, so Ogre, no influence in this engagement at all.
Yeah, he just, like, if you die out of position like that, you're usually always gonna lose a Rex or 2 against a DP as well as Brewmaster and Lycan. They've had 3 really strong push heroes.
Seem to be a lot better as well from this push from Kinguin. They seem to understand exactly what they wanted. The positioning of Nisha, fantastic for doing like almost like that Exorcism was doing almost all damage into the melee racks. Then they switched to fight mode, then back to push mode.
Yeah. Also a very big deal was the Winter's Curse on the Phoenix, because the only reason he bought BKB is to get an uninterrupted Sunray, because that is the biggest DPS output they have, and he just gets Winter Curse. So essentially BKB was completely wasted. It was a very good Winter ult, and after they just got silenced and killed without a Supernova.
Yeah.
They cannot win a fight without Supernova.
And this just seems to be the hardest fight, but Mineski put themselves in this position with their draft. They willingly drafted forward into this, and you beg the question, like, okay, well, Mushi does a lot of damage. How does he really perform his duties as a 1-roll?
No, that's what I'm saying. The Yules, for me, doesn't make any sense whatsoever as a 1-roll. First of all, it's like 2.9k gold that you spent before the Radiance, so you're not even a threat in those fights. If you have that Radiance earlier, you will just transition to like a BKB. Imagine he has a BKB in these fights. He won't get silenced, and he will actually be actively able to like whack down the Winter Wyvern as well as the Earth Spirit. He will just have like a much bigger presence. Yeah. Because right now they just ignore him, they silence him, and then he has to Yules himself, then he gets silenced again, and then the fight is over for him.
Yeah.
And his teammates just die.
And with this Assault Cuirass next item, like, it just seems that the transition is turned into the 4 block for 1 strat.
Yeah.
Let Sniper be in the back. That's why I'm like with the Sniper's build, like, you're talking about BKB, Ice. Trying to be very, very tricky with all of this. The Jabugi was in pretty close. Heavy damage, but now the curse.
They just want to disengage.
Moon does not want to walk into this one.
Yeah, they just want to disengage.
Yeah, with Exorcism running out, they want to get out of this.
DP actually had an Octarine core though, so only 70 seconds downtime on the DP ult.
He's got the Aegis to the Immortal.
Yeah.
Cheese in the hands of the Lycan.
Sniper did end up going for the Butterfly instead of the BKB.
Okay.
And they really needed it. They needed the damage.
Yeah. Look at just try and force this now.
Yeah.
Mineski know the windows are going to be very few and far between, so they are trying to force the issue. Let Moon get some damage into the mid racks.
They have to be careful though. Lycan is still pushing top, and he's very fast at getting the tower.
He's still going to get through a tier 2. Like they need a counter racks. At least take the tier 3 towns so they can open up the shrines, or maybe even get Nisha. You also her up and towards the air. Mushi close to the distance, and Brewmaster the split the stun. It catches him. They need to keep the chainstones going. Does he get the split up in time? Part-toss. Cold Embrace will protect him. Assassination will fly away through. They need more damage. The multi-cast from Ninja Boogie is still not enough. Patos mid-split pulls out of it the last moment, but Exotic Deer is doing the work up on top lane, beating into the tier 3 tower. Still, Mineski, how far do you go? Right now, they just want to go home.
The thing is, even if they kill the Panda there, it might even be better for Kinguin because Mineski is going to commit even further and they might actually end up losing top Rex.
And they'll just buy back of the Panda, he had it anyway.
Yeah.
And the only ones who don't have buyback are short of it by 200 gold, which is the Lycan as well as the Death Prophet.
I'm really surprised that he's actually going for a Shiva's Guard on the Brewmaster and not a BKB because he just got locked down so heavily. At least after this fight, I think you definitely want to commit to a BKB. Well, they're just going to go all on top now because DPO is up again.
Yeah.
Cheese on Lycan.
Mineski's gonna. This is the hold right now. Yep. If they don't hold this, then Kinguin's gonna walk away with game 1 of this series. And a fantastic way to start off day 2 of the Perfect World Finder. Silence onto Ice. Problems for him again. Doesn't have his BKB. Still call down the curse. Keeping Ogre controlled in the back lines while Nisha sits in the front lines. Cold Embrace was giving him the life as well as the survivability. And not Exotic Deer. He's actually losing life quickly, but that's why Cheese available. They keep everybody controlled in Nisha. The Exorcism is doing serious lifting. Moon trying to do the work through the back lines. Now with the Cold Embrace, and once again he cannot do the damage into the Necro. It's just not enough. The Death Prophet Yules have this up. More defensive nature. He will get a lot of life back from the Exorcism. Just bought the time for that regeneration to arrive, but Moon is killing himself to Necro units at the moment. Needs to bring the damage into Nisha, so at least they can crack the Aegis to the Immortal. But while Moon is so low, okay, maybe a little bit too deep from him. They want to focus on the Aegis target. They need to bring down Nisha. You have yourself Megas already from Kinguin, so they're going to be happy with the results no matter what happens in this fight. Nisha tries to fight, tries to survive, won't happen. Moon with a triple kill. But the base of Mineski is in tatters.
The upside is Sniper is very, very rich, and we have seen a lot of Sniper comebacks from Mega Creeps already. It is definitely not impossible.
It's not impossible.
It's very rough. So
I'm sorry, you actually have a chat wheel for new meta?
I did not know that. Actually, I'm the worst person for chat wheels. I don't know anything about it.
All I know is we were taken away with our voice lines. It was a sad day.
So one more level until Bruce 25, and then his split basically only a 35 seconds cooldown.
Small advantage for Mineski. Both the gems were actually lost by Kinguin in that fight. Both were dropped now in the hands of the Ogre, who's bringing them home.
Well, the only issue for Mineski is they can't really use those gems because they can't leave their own base.
No, but at least they can make sure that Kinguin doesn't have high ground vision on him.
Yeah, that's one advantage.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like, you'll take anything you can get right now because you're staring down the barrel of a lot of heroes who are hitting 25. Nisha has already hit that 25 talent.
What did he get for? Grant's Haste, alright.
Okay.
He went for that, not the bird count.
And what about Patos? Like, what do you want to see from the Brewmaster on 25?
I think the split, and then you want to go Octarine Core and you have a perma split. It actually is like 0 cooldown.
Really? Negative 65 and then with the Octarine? Cool.
Well, not 0 cooldown, but like 3-4 seconds maybe. So you're out of it, you're back into it, out of it, into it. And he also went for the talent that all the split units get 1500 bonus health, so it's gonna be hell to deal with them. He might actually just focus the buildings with it, and then I kind of go out and back in again, kind of go back out again. Because at this point it's very hard to fight the Sniper, because he can kind of hit you from the fountain. Which is also why it's so hard to finish games against the Sniper.
Yeah.
Once he actually sits at the fountain, you don't want to dive him, because the fountain is going to wreck you.
I'm trying to just get as much money into Moon as possible before the next engagement happens.
We see the Tome of Knowledge on the Brewmaster. He wants to get to the level 25 ASAP.
That courier's going to have to head down south if they're going to do a quick run. But buybacks will probably be the next thing we have to keep a very, very close eye on.
Yeah, for Dire at least. Radiant won't care as much. DP's going for Lincoln's next.
So Moon still needs to get himself another 600 gold. You can also see Mineski giving him the creep wave so he can get that. His wave's worth nowhere near as much as they were before, but it's still
better than nothing.
Yeah, they need a second sniper. They understand this. There's no way they defend tier 4 towers without it. So buff the towers, buff everyone with Bloodlust, get as much damage out as possible. Actually, that courier's making a run down the bottom side, so it looks like maybe he just goes all in. Buys the MKB, Exorcism is out, Nisha jumping in far. This time you'll only get one silence over on the Ogre Magi. Not exactly what he was hoping for, but still the damage is out. Brewmaster split will happen. Sniper set up and towards the end. They need to bring him down from this or else the damage just doesn't exist. While Tusker perfectly controlled, the curse is nice. And Eyesight as well as Mushi beat the living crap out of their own teammate. They're trying to keep Ninja Boogie alive. He will be able to stay alive for a little bit longer, but the Brewmaster control on the back lines is too good. Nii just forcing through the front lines. Eliza just split everywhere. Yulsef erupts Death Prophet into the air. Maybe they have enough damage now. Partos back into normal form. Will go down once Moon hit the ground. They brought in the damage, and Kinguin trying to bring down these tier 4 towers, but their only real upside out of this engagement is the fact that those tier 4 towers don't regenerate.
I mean, the fight was very sloppy from Kinguin's side. A DP casted ult at like a tier 2 location mid lane, and then they jumped on an ogre, which is like the target you never want to go on.
It looked like a blind jump though, like they were expecting more to be there.
Yeah,
let's watch it again.
That was even more weird. Yeah. Let's see. They just jump on an ogre, which is the worst target to go on, and it was just very split up. You see,
yep.
like one is still farming jungle, 2 are still behind.
It's like they thought they had an opportunity. Yeah. But they couldn't lock anybody down. The curse in the back line, so the fight is perfectly split, and Moon is able to just stand in this BKB and do so much damage. The ES almost had nothing, and then it's like Phoenix is also running cover fire by just dropping down the Nova on top of the sniper.
Yeah. The problem was also that Lycan didn't have his MKB. Now he has his MKB, so the sniper's gonna be in a lot more problem. And he also has MKB to hit down the egg. Now it gives 60% attack speed.
Okay.
So that's right. Yeah, the new MKB does. Okay.
Yeah, but both MKBs should be up on both sides. So sniper and
Sniper
Lycan.
also got MKB. Yeah. He still has one more slot. And honestly, that sniper is gonna be, we spoke about it, it's gonna be incredibly hard to deal with him. And they need to make sure they don't fight like in a sloppy way anymore. Because they kind of committed to the fight with 2 heroes only, Brewmaster and DP. The rest was really far behind.
Yeah.
And they need to make sure they focus, because they only have 1k gold lead. This is not a lot. And Sniper's one of those heroes that can really turn these kind of games around.
As long as he can hold the line, these mega creeps will continuously push in. There's only one lane that Mineski can really push back, but at least that's their upside, right? Like the middle lane, they brought down the tier 1 and tier 2 tower. They did a little bit of chip damage into the tier 3. So if they want to go for this, if they do feel like they've got an opportunity, they can at least get a counteract to mid. But I don't know if that's even going to be enough with the tier 2 towers on the side. It almost feels like you have to go for like the full win push.
Well, the next big test is going to be Roshan is respawning in 15 seconds, and then they have the refresher shot, the Aegis, and the cheese. And if they can hold that, then they're in a very good position to win the game.
Yeah.
But whether they can hold that or not is the big question. The microphone.
Yep. Fix it up quickly. Also gives us a moment just to catch a breath and think about what's going on, especially with
Cypher
Mushi.
Vice on Phoenix, by the way.
Oh, he actually did get the scythe now?
Yeah. AC on... Oh, Blink Dagger on Omni Knight, the new item. He's going for Manta Style now, actually. I really think you just go...
It's like he's trying to break free of the silence now.
At this point, you commit for a BKB, I think. It's like way better than a Manta. Because they don't only have that, they also have Winter Curse. So if you're ever in the AoE, you will just start whacking your teammates.
Is there something you get more by having the illusions over just having like the
well, you
straight
have
up immunity?
Radiance, right? Radiance illusion, you can push out lanes a bit.
Yeah.
Can cancel Blink Daggers in team fights.
Mushi's gonna get the hell out of here. He's being engaged on from multiple sides. The curse is out. The Brewmaster are being committed. They just want a quick kill on him, but what's he got? Purification, Repel is available. Quick defensive heal scepter. No one's gonna come to help him here as it hits the ground. Instantly silenced.
Yeah.
But you don't want to be burning buybacks. The buybacks are meant to be burned when Kinguin were forcing the issue too far.
Yeah, well, he will have to do it. And Brewmaster splits up in 15 seconds, goes for Talon.
Exorcism is now being burnt. I think Mushi, now's going to be the time. They're in deep enough. That Nova is down. Can they get rid of it in time? It's right in the middle of it. Eyesight. Where's the clamp? It's able to connect. Hardcore move for the moment, but where is this attack? Moon's still back behind the tier 4 towers, pumping away into Kinguin heroes. They've lost the ES. Now Exotic Deer will fall as well. They're holding the line. The regeneration and survivability is there from Mineski. And now they're pumping through even more. The Brewmaster split. Sure, you can keep pumping it, but Mineski hold their tier 4 towers. They repel Kinguin. The cost was the buyback on both. Well, the Tusker was previously. It's just the buyback on Mushi.
Yeah, I really feel like they're too hasty. As soon as they initiated the fight, the Brew split still was on the cooldown for 15 seconds. And they really needed to... Because Sniper doesn't want a BKB right away, right? You will always get a chance to Yule him at least once. Yep. And that's 8 seconds without... Like, the damage, basically. He's like 90% of the damage right now. If they can manage to Yule him up, they will win these team fights. But they need to be more calm. It feels like they just want to finish the game right now. Like they're feeling themselves.
Yeah. Like, the longer this game goes on, we're further behind. Like, we can't finish the job. It's this what was that CIS game that Fog Tonight cast?
What wasn't it for the 3 hours or something?
Yeah, it was the 3-hour matchup. It was like, well, it was Team Empire, I think, versus Vega or something.
Wasn't it Eternal Envy, that game?
No, Envy wasn't in that game.
There was also one of those, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Radiant should just like calm down right now, get Roshan, and get a really good organized fight. Maybe even get a pick-off like they did on Mushi bot lane, but they need to get this Roche right now.
It's like they're trying to force the issue even harder, like with the Refresher Orb build on the Death Prophet. I saw that in a quick buy before, but you're already going to have the Refresher Shard that comes in from Roshan.
He actually went back and bought a Hex on the DP instead.
Yeah.
It's just in the quick buy, but he didn't actually commit to buying it.
It just seems like the better initiation. Like they need to keep the sniper locked down. As this BKB gets lower in duration, Moon is going to rely more and more on the babysitting of Ice.
And Repel doesn't remove the Hex anymore, so if they can get a Hex on him, it will be perfect.
They can at least protect him from the damage.
They should also try to make sure that they can get the Dispel off on the sniper with the Brewmaster, because then he has no protection at all from the
Roshan being chipped away.
Waiting for Roche.
Mineski cannot come out to fight this.
No,
they have no option here.
A good option right now is also to just burst down the Omni Knight first, because he does not have the buyback, and without the Omni Knight the sniper will drop like a fly.
Yeah.
So they will have to, even if they burst the sniper once, his buyback is gonna be a huge problem. So I think the best winning condition right now is you actually kill the Omni Knight, and then they don't really have the means to fight you anymore.
Oh, they got an Invis rune. That's in the hands of the Wyvern, an Arcane rune as well. Oh, what? That's like the only thing which would make that better is if it was a double damage rune on a Lycan, but the Arcane rune on Death Prophet, who also has a Refresher Shard, so a 76-second cooldown.
But the problem is you're gonna you will have the third exorcism faster, I guess, because you're gonna pop the Refresher Shard instantly after you pop your BKB and Hex.
Yep. We'll see how the timing all works out for it, but at least it'll allow him like the silence timings, the control timings that he's really looking for. Like even the reduction of that's gonna be worth it.
The big problem DP has right now, he has only got 14 armor. He's actually not tanky at all. Because he dropped all his armor items, he does not have a Shiva's guard.
Because that's the upside of then of Mushi having the Assault Cuirass. Nisha, they should jump in once again. Oh, that damage! Down to 2/3 of his life. The Curse of Snipes is over on the Sniper, but it's only an Ogre, and Jab's pumping into him. So Moon will stand his ground. They need to bring down Nisha. Don't let him use that Refresher Orb. You'll set her up towards the end with the defensive BKB, allowing Exorcism to do the work, and Cold Embrace. That'll cancel off the physical damage that Moon's still trying to pump out, but they're bringing down Exotic Deer, but the Hex! It'll cancel the last attack that Moon was looking for. He'll turn around for a quick moment, but the 4-star out. These tier 4 towers protected by the glyphs at the moment. The user of Refresher Shard over on the Death Prophet, and now she goes again. Round 2 of the Exorcism. You've got everything else to go. The tier 4 towers all lost. So the throne is exposed, but the damage output is too high. Moon will fall. Instant buyback. The shrine is slowly being brought down. Can they keep the Ancient alive? It's low. It's low. It's almost gone. 300-0 on it. Kinguin. It was rough, it was forced, but it is theirs, game 1.
They're very happy, visibly. But yeah, like, and we saw it, they calmed down for a moment, they took the Roche, they took a very organized fight, and then they just finished the game. Took him a while though, 3-4 attempts.
Yeah.
They were feeling themselves, you could tell. Because this is like an elimination match, basically, right? Because they're both